problem solving involving proportion. Let us answer this question. Number 1, Marvin and Ben are business partners. They share profits and losses at a ratio of 2 to 3. If the capital of Marvin is 16,800, how much is the capital of Ben? Okay? In this problem, 2 to 3 is given. Although it is not directly stated, we can assume that 2 here will represent the capital share of Marvin and 3 represents the capital share of Ben. So, we can write it as such. Marvin to Ben. And then their capital share, individual capital share is 2 to 3. Ang shinare ni Marvin is 16,800. We are looking for the capital share ni Ben. Okay? To solve for this, we're going to write our proportion as such. 2 to 3 equals 16,800 to N. Okay? This is Marvin, Ben, Marvin, Ben. And then to solve for N, we are going to multiply the means and the extremes. 3 times 16,800 is 50,400. 2 times N is equal to 2N. And then we are going to equate the 2. 2N equals 50,400. Dividing both sides by 2, para makancel natin yung 2 doon, 50,400 divided by 2 is equal to 25,200 pesos. This is the capital share of Ben. Ito yung N. Next, number 2. An investment of 42,000 produces a net income of 12,200. Assuming all factors being equal, how much investment is needed to earn a net income of 16,400? First, let us identify ano yung dalawang quantity being compared. And those are the investment at yung net income. Okay. Kapag nag-invest daw ng 42,000, it will produce a net income of 12,200. Now, the question is, how much investment is needed to earn a net income of 16,400? So, these are our ratios. We're solving for this and the investment needed. So, let us write our ratio. 42,000 to 12,200 equals N to 16,400. So, this is our proportion na. To solve for N, we're going to multiply the means and the extremes. 12,200 times N is 12,200 N. And then, 42,000 times 16,400 is 688,800,000. And then we're going to solve for N by equating the two. 12,200 N equals 688,800,000. You divide both sides by 12,200 to cancel the 12,200 here, leaving us with 688,800,000 divided by 12,200. The result is 56,400 459 pesos and 2 centavos. This is the required investment para magkaroon tayo ng net income na 16,400. Number 3. Nicanor wants to send money to his 3 children amounting to 625,000 pesos in a ratio of 5:2:1. How much will each of his children receive? In this problem, para malaman natin yon, we are going to add a variable x to each quantity, and then we will add the quantity and then solve for x later on. Paano yon? That would be 5. The ratio is 5:2:1. We're going to add x to each of the ratio. 5x, 2x, and then you have 1x or x, and then we're going to add them, equate it to the total amount of 625,000. And then we're going to add 5 plus 2 plus 1 is 8x equals 625,000. Solve for x, divide both sides by 8. Our x is equal to 78,125. This is just the value of our x. Ang tinatanong, tigma magkano yung magkakapatid. We are going to substitute the x to the individual ratio. So for 5x, that would be 5 times 78,125. For 2x, that would be 2 times 78,125. And then, since x lang naman yan, so, as it is na siya, dito na natin ilagay. 7,125. So, that is already your x. So, 5 times 78,125 is 390,625. 2 times 78,125 is 156,250. And then, yung x. To check, pag dapat natin yan, that should be equal to 625,000 pesos. So, tigma magkano sila? Ito yung sa 5x, ito yung sa 2x, and this is the x. Number 4. Sarah, a secretary, spends her working hours, assuming it's 8 hours, to typing, documenting, and filing reports. If she approximately performs these tasks in a ratio of 1:2:2, how much hours does she spend for each task? Like in number 3, we are going to solve for this. We're going to assume a value of x. Tapos, i-add natin yung individual ratio and then solve for x later on. So, the ratio is 1:2:2. So, that would be x plus 2x plus 2x equals the total number of hours given in the problem, which is 8 hours. And then, we will add 1:2:2 is 5x equals 8. Solving for x, we divide both sides by 5. To cancel 5, x here is going to be 1.6 hours. This is our x. Then, we will substitute the x to the individual ratio. So, you have the x there. So, meron ka na lang 1.6 here. 2 times 1.6 is, this is 3.2 hours. And then, another 1.6. 2 times 1.6 is 3.2. So, dapat ito, pag inad natin to, this is equal to 8 hours. So, assuming 8 hours siya nagtatrabaho, doing typing, documenting, and filing reports, the number of hours Sarah spends to do these tasks are 1.6 hour for typing, 3.24, documenting, and another 3.24, filing. Number 5. In ABC Company, there are 150 employees for every 4 supervisors. If there are 6,300 employees, how many supervisors are there? The two quantities that are compared here are the number of employees and the supervisors. If we have 150 employees, there are 4 supervisors. What happens if there are 6,300 employees? How many supervisors are there? Let us write our proportion. That would be 150 to 4 equals 6,300 to n. Solve for n by multiplying the means and the extremes. 4 times 6,300 is 25,200. 150 times n is 150n. Solve for n by equating the two. 150n equals 25,200. Divide both sides by 150 para makancel yon. So, n is equal to 25,200 divided by 150 is equal to 168. For 6,300 employees, there are 168 supervisors.